All right, we are back with another Pick'em video. Going to be talking NBA in this one. There was no NBA yesterday on Sunday, so we just attacked the NFL. I will be going over those video picks in just a second. But NBA is back. We only got 2 games, but it's in-season tournament games, elimination round. So could be indicative of some playoff type basketball, depending on how serious these guys play. And I'm actually thinking they're going to play pretty seriously. And if you're wondering why my audio is so bad and you haven't been watching the past few days, I am in the middle of a move, currently in a room with not much furniture and wooden floors and all that. So the echo is pretty bad. I don't have my microphone or anything like that, so it's not going to be like this forever. But I will try to keep my voice low so that echoing doesn't affect it too much. Let's go over the video plays from today or yesterday, Sunday. And it was a Sunday night / Monday night football combo here. So our 2 Sunday night boys hit for us. Rashee Rice and Jordan Love both went over their receptions and completions line respectively. And then we have a 3-man stack for the Jaguars. So if Trevor Lawrence has a good passing game against a really bad Cincinnati defense, Kirk and Ingram are great spots to go over as well. So could be a great 5-for-5 spot there for us. If you're not on Underdog, link in the description. Definitely check it out. They match your first $100 just for free. So if you put $100 in, they're going to give you a free $100 of promo money, and definitely worth it. You also get a free square as a new player, and they have different things. They have flash sales when there's late scratches in the NBA. So it's really good time for sure. We've been killing it over there, and going to continue to do so. But today we're going to be on PrizePicks. Again, 2 games. There's going to be no Pacers lines as well, so we're only dealing with 3 games actually in this early slate. So as you can see, no Pacers lines, and that's because of Tyrese Haliburton being a game-time decision here. Porzingis is already ruled out for the Celtics. That's the only big injury news as of right now. And then again, Haliburton, we can see on RotoWire what they're saying, that the illness is still, so it's an illness. So I assume he'll play. Again, there's no lines for it anyway, so we can't really attack that team regardless if he plays or not. But just to keep that in mind, only dealing with 3 games. Now, if you guys hit me up in the comments, say, hey, we want to update, some of these lines have moved, I'll definitely do another video for tomorrow for you guys. Just let me know that that's something you guys want, and we'll attack the board when the Pacers are on the board, and if some lines have been bumped. So let's jump right into it here. I'm going to stay chronologically, and the first 2 guys is actually just going to be 2 Celtics here in that first game. This one's at 7:30 tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. Let's go to Derek White, and we're going to go to his 8.5 rebounds and assists. Really like this line. We'll go check him out on Outlier, see what he's been doing so far this year. Link in the description for a free trial on Outlier. Super duper helpful to see, visually how they've been doing the past few games, their matchups and everything like that. Very good tool, and you get a free trial, so a free week of Outlier if you want to try it out. But let's look at Derek White real quick. Go find his page. 8.5 rebounds and assists. We got this at -130 that they're giving us on the odds on FanDuel here, so really liking that. The past, I guess, just all 16 games this year in 2023, gone over in 11 of 16 games. Really consistently gets to this 9 line, and has only had 1 game where he had 6. And other than that, he's at 7 or above. So 69% of the time he's gone over this. The past 5, he's hit it in 5 straight games. Love to see that. And then the matchup against this team is the only thing that's kind of difficult for Indiana. They don't give up a whole bunch of rebounds. They don't give up a whole bunch of assists. This assist line does get a little bit better when you go to shooting guard specifically, but that's take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, definitely a solid matchup. Again, 11 to 16 games. 2 of these games were, 1 of these games were against Indiana. But again, the big thing here is no Porzingis, so we can see games without Porzingis. Obviously, Derek White gets a little bit more run. He scores the ball a little bit more as well, but does rebounding and assisting as well to pick up some of that slack. And obviously probably gets a few more minutes. So 34 minutes or so per game. Assuming this stays close, I would hope Haliburton plays in this game with the 2 overs that we're going for Boston. But really good spot for him. Let's jump over to OddsJam, kind of see what other sportsbooks are saying about this line. Go ahead and find Derek White. we'll apply that, and we do see that it's actually an orange bet, so love to see that with the other data points that we have on Outlier to see that he's been killing that line, and with no Porzingis out, he does much better. 8.5 line, they have an over at 53.96% chance to hit. That's because FanDuel's got this at -130. DraftKings has this at -140. Caesars has this at -151 to go over this line, so would not be surprised at all if this gets bumped, but definitely taking some really good value at this 8.5 line. So that'll be our first play of the day. Staying in the same game, same team actually. Going to go to Jason Tatum, and just going to simply go to his PRA, 43.5. I mentioned it earlier when I was talking about the games, maybe having an indication for some playoff type basketball. We know how Tatum does in those situations. He usually steps up in the playoffs like, a superstar should. He's also, in the past, stepped up in the play-in tournament. Once that was, he was actually part of the first play-in tournament game. And, one of those first games, he had 50 points in the play-in tournament. So he likes to be in the first Eastern Conference MVP. Or Eastern Conference Finals MVP, when that was, a newly put into the league a few years ago. What am I trying to say? I don't know. I'm lost my train of thought. It's late right now. But the only thing is here, he has not hit this line at all this year. Really, it's 6 of 19 games, 32%. We never like to see that. But in the head-to-head, he did get this against Indiana. He typically gets this pretty, at least very close against Indiana. And again, with that inclination of, some playoff type basketball, really, really liking this spot for him. So -120 odds. He did it in the recent matchup against Indiana back on the first. I'm interested to see in 2021 without Porzingis if that goes. Yeah, so he's also coming off 2 duds, which I like. I don't think he's in a slump. I think he's in a spot that he can definitely bounce back. 21 points, 34 points the game before that. So definitely a spot for him to have an explosion of a game. Maybe he goes crazy, scores 40 plus for us, and that would be an easy over. But yeah, definitely a solid spot for Tatum here, -120. And sportsbooks are loving this one. Let's check them out real quick. Find Tatum. Go ahead and apply that. 53.82% chance to go over this 43.5 line. 136 on FanDuel, 130 on DraftKings, 120 on BetMGM, but 149 on Pinnacle. Love to see that. BetOnline's already got this at 44.5, and it's still a -130 to go over. So again, a lot of data points here to be going off of. These are billion-dollar companies setting their lines, and they're saying, hey, this is probably going over that line. So we're taking advantage of great value on PrizePicks, and going to rock with it at 43.5. So that's our second play of the day. And now we're going to be moving into that second game. We got the Pelicans versus the Kings, and we're going to be going to DeAaron Fox. Same thing, PRA, 37.5, just finding some value here on that line. Let's go check out Outlier, see what he's been doing so far this year, and then see how he kind of matches up with Sacramento. I still can't remember what I was trying to say when I kind of had that brain fart earlier. But it is really late. It's like 2:30 a.m. But that's when we attack some value. 7 to 10 games he's gone over this line. So really, really liking to see that, including 4 straight. Last 5, he's been killing this line. Another guy that picks it up during the playoffs. If we go to 2022, guys, and we see all these playoff games right here against Golden State, pretty much all greens except for the last one when they lost by 20. So he picks it up in the playoffs. I think this is a team in the Kings that will probably play for this. They want to win something. They don't have much playoff success, but if they can be, an in-season tournament champion, that's something I think they would want to maybe even hang a banner for in that Sacramento stadium. So 9 of 13 games in 2023, really like to see that. Against the Pelicans specifically, does really, really, or not well against these guys. I was about to say does really, really well, but hasn't actually hit this once. 2 games against Pelicans, he didn't get there. That's the only thing I'm not liking about this one. But if we look deeper into it, they killed him in this one. This one was closer, and this was just a few days ago, or I guess a few weeks ago. So, not the best in terms of seeing their head-to-head matchups here, but something he's been doing very easily in the past. Doesn't do well against New Orleans, but again, kind of the inclination of the in-season tournament being an elimination round. he could see a whole bunch of time. If he gets these 40 minutes, this should be a shoo-in. So really liking this Fox line, and kind of screaming off the page from these other sports books. So let's go check out his line for Fox. Go ahead and apply that, and we do see that he's got a couple other ones. So this 6 assist line, I was looking at that as well. A lot of sports books have this at 6.5 already, and still minus 109 to go over this on Pinnacle. So if you want to just go to that one, I wouldn't be mad at you. 10.5 rebounds and assists, that's an under. That just means we get some value on some other points adding up in this points, rebounds, and assists. 51.87% chance to hit, so maybe this is the weakest play on the board so far. But Caesar's got this at minus 145. Everyone else has got this at minus 120 or above. FanDuel's got this at minus 132. So definitely a solid play for us over this 37.5. So let's go over and find our last play, and it's going to be Jonas Valancas. And we're going to his 21.5 points and rebounds. Go check him out on Outlier. Jonas Valancas, 21.5. He's been crushing this line. This is the head-to-head that I was alluding to before. 6 to 7 games, he's crushed this line. So, really like to see him here. Minus 130 odds is absolutely crazy to get, on PrizePicks. 13 to 21 games so far this season he's gone over. So that's 62% hit rate on the year. And again, he loves this matchup. He's been consistently hitting this matchup, so really like to see that. And this Pelicans team is another team that maybe isn't winning in the playoffs just yet. They're a playoff team, but an in-season tournament win could be huge for a franchise like that. So he's really been picking it up recently. This could be a game that he sees a lot of time and a lot of minutes. And if the defense is coming up and playing a little bit harder, he's a guy that's going to get a few of these early 5-foot layups or whatever to get those in. He's always going to get those, and if players are missing shots, he's going to be gobbling up some rebounds. So definitely like this spot for him. If he gets 10 plus rebounds, absolutely awesome. And then he'll chip in a few of these bunnies and some threes. So really liking, maybe a 3. Really liking Jonas Valancas. And again, it is really late, so I'm talking very quietly, trying not to echo. So hopefully you guys can understand me. So these are the 4 plays. Going to go ahead and zoom in here. We got Derek White over 8.5 rebounds and assists. We got Jason Tatum over 43.5 PRA. We got DeAaron Fox over 37.5 PRA. And then we got Jonas Valancas 21.5 points and rebounds, going up more than that. But yeah, I already submitted this, so feel free to mix and match with these. Maybe you like these Celtics play. Fox hasn't hit this line against the Pelicans, but has been hitting it pretty much against anyone else, so could be due for a good game. And then Valancas, very, very solid spot for him. Another guy that had a great line is Brandon Ingram. I just didn't want to fully contradict each other. His PRA line is at 31.5. This is another really solid play, so maybe if you don't have faith in Valancas, Ingram is a really good play. Sportsbooks are loving it. If we go over to OddsJam, we can find Ingram real quick. And we see it's actually a green play right now, 35.5, 54.94% chance to go over, minus 158 on FanDuel, minus 153 on Pinnacle, minus 140. I mean, it's just an absolute home run play. So if you want to go that route, absolutely do that. But Valancas, hits very consistently against the Sacramento team, and we'll be riding with him. Honestly, you could probably do both of them. Some YouTubers call this a stack. I seem to think that if Valancas is taking rebounds and points away from each other, I don't love to play them in the same slip. This one's a little bit different because it's rebounds and assists. Tatum's going to do most of this in the points category. So feel free to do the 5. Just wanted to get you guys as many good plays as possible. But yeah, that should do it. Definitely go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you're trying to find some plays on Underdog, definitely go ahead and hit my link in the description for that 100% match up to $100. And then any of the tools, OddsJam, Outlier, RotoWire, all of free trials and linked below as well. So that will do it. Let's make some money tonight, guys. And peace out. And also let me know if you want the follow-up video. All right.